All right, we are live. Welcome, DoorGrow hackers, to the DoorGrow Show. If you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to add doors, make a difference, increase revenue, help others, impact lives, and you're interested in growing your business and life, and you're open to doing things a bit differently, then you are a DoorGrow hacker. DoorGrow hackers love the opportunities, daily variety, unique challenges, and freedom that property management brings. Many in real estate think you're crazy for doing it. You think that you're crazy for not, because you realize that property management is the ultimate high trust gateway to real estate deals, relationships, residual income. And at DoorGrow, we are on a mission to transform property management businesses and their owners. We want to transform the industry, eliminate the BS, build awareness, change perception, expand the market, and help the best property management entrepreneurs win. I'm your host, property management growth expert, Jason Hull, the founder and CEO of DoorGrow. Now let's get into the show. And my guest today is Vitaliy. Vitaliy, welcome to the show. Again. Oh, I got to unmute you. That's my bad. So, Vitaliy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, you've been on the show before. Your company is Renter Inc. And so, why don't you give us kind of for those that aren't familiar with you, give us a quick background on who you are, and then maybe give us an update on Renter Inc. And then let's get into this new thing that you're here to talk about today, which is how realtors can start giving referrals to property managers in a more easy way.
All right. Well, thank you for having me here again. Last time I was here, I believe it was about a year ago. Renter Inc. is a software company that allows or builds multiple softwares. One of the ones that I was here for last time is called rental verification software. What that does is it automates the process of giving rental verifications to your tenants that are leaving your property. So you have tenants that are there, they're getting ready to leave. That new prospective landlord contacts you, asks you for references, and usually takes 10 to 15 minutes to do that. And then you have to make sure that they give you consent forms and all that stuff. With our software rental verifications, you're able to integrate with PropertyWare and AppFolio, and it automatically generates their rental verifications for them, so you don't have to spend your time on that. Last time I was here, I was saying, hey, we need some beta testers for AppFolio, and we were able to get them because of this show. So right now it's up and running. Everything is good. But what I want to talk about today is this mobile app that we're building. And this came from talking to property managers, asking them what their real problems are. And some of them came back and said, hey, our biggest problem is not really automation right now. Our biggest problem is getting more leads. So that's where this app idea was born. And I'd love to talk to you guys about that.
Let's get into it. So, I mean, the number one source for most property management businesses and growing their businesses, if they have a healthy property management business, is always word of mouth. It's referrals. Mm-hmm. And if you build up a business that has lots of doors, it's a machine that kind of builds itself. It just naturally starts to grow as you have more tenants and more owners, and you're doing a good job and providing good service. More and more people are referring, and so it kind of takes on a life of its own. But for a lot of property managers, this is a real problem. It's a struggle to get this machine going, to get that engine going. And then even for the larger ones, they're always like, how can I pour more gasoline on this fire? Mm-hmm. That is our biggest fire. Like, how do we make this work? So, and you and I have been talking about this software like quite a bit, right? So yeah. We've gone back and forth, and I guess you could say I've consulted and given you a bunch of ideas and on this as well. So where are you at with this, and what have you come up with? Let's tell people about it.
Yeah, so let's try to get into what is the point of this app first, and then I'll tell you where we are in developing of this app. So the main point of this app is it will give you more referral apps. So Realtor Referrals.
Okay.
The way it works is instead of you going to realtor events, meeting realtors, and give them your business card and beg for referrals, you would simply give them your own app with your own logo, which will have very good tools in it that you would provide to these realtors. And they would simply go to either App Store or Android Store and download your own app. This app will have capabilities such as realtors will be able to request free rent analysis directly from you, and you would be able to respond back inside your own app with your own rent analysis. They will receive push notifications. You will receive push notifications, and everything is done through the app. The other feature is going to be the referrals. Realtors will be able to give you a referral from the app. You will see and get a push notification saying that there is a referral coming in. Now, the realtor, the big part here, the realtor will be able to see the status of the referral. So, for example, is the referral converted? Has it been dropped? All of that will be able to be seen in the app. The other benefit that this app has is it's not only a app that is useful for you, the property manager, it's also a tool for realtor to be a basically expert in investors type of world. So you will be able to push information to them, important information to them. For example, local laws and regulations that these realtors need to know when they're working with investors in the area. So it makes you relevant. It makes you more advanced in knowledge, and it gives them this free tool rather than just another app on their phone. It also gives you push notifications, which is a much more chances of them interacting with you. And the other biggest thing out of them all is the fact that it's a mobile app. It's on their phone, and you can send them push notifications. They will be on top of your mind compared to all those other property managers who gave them their business cards and begged them to follow up with them. This app,
so let's touch on some of these real quick, because I'm sure we're going to lose people if we're just throwing out all the features and benefits. So when you first came to me with this app, I was really negative about it. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I was like, no, nobody wants another app on their phone. That realtors aren't going to want to just download some app and give referrals. Like, it's not. And so, and the missing piece, which you like just threw out there, like it was not that big of a deal, but I want to point out it's a big deal. That is that rent analysis. Like, realtors really do want to be able to say to their investor clients, like, well, here is an expert analysis, but they have no idea. They have no idea. They could go to Zillow, they could go to these places, but they're inaccurate. They have problems. Nobody knows better than a property manager who's leased out 2 or 3 properties in that neighborhood, what that property should realistically lease for, or what they could get, or what the market is suggesting, based on the time, it takes to lease a property, all this kind of stuff. They have all this anecdotal data in their head that you're just not going to be able to pull in sometimes. And so and because they're the boots on the ground, they see this. And so this gives agents a resource that they can come to you, provide basically a lead to you. Like, here's this property, here's the owner's detail, here's this stuff. And they get to, you'll be able to provide that service. And they're going to feel safe that you're going to give this person back to them when it comes time to sell, because you're going to be, as a property manager, the first to know when this person wants to sell. Why? Because they're going to reach out and they're going to want to know what the property maybe could sell for. They're going to, they're going to have this sort of need. So you can then refer them back to the agent. And so this app, the idea, once we've figured that out, there's an incentive, there's some benefit for the agent to look like an expert, to keep the client, to receive that. Then I was like, all right, now this is starting to make sense, Vitaliy. This sounds like, now this is something I could sell people on. I could say, hey, yeah, you should do this. This would be a good idea. And the idea that agents can see the transparency, they can see where a lead's sort of at, almost like a CRM. They can kind of see, here's where it's at in step in the process. Because this is one of the concerns. If I send somebody a referral, I want to know if they're being taken care of. I want to know how it's going. I want a little bit of, feedback. Did you get them onto the client? Are you going to pay me a kickback for this? Is there like this? Like, that's what the property manager and the real estate agent, they want to see all of this stuff. And so this app facilitates all of that. And so the agent's going to want to keep this app on their phone because they're going to have this easy resource they can go to. It's a tangible anchor. Psychologically, anytime they're stuck on anything, they're like, oh, well, I have this person's is a real estate investor and they want to turn this into investment property. Next step is we need to figure out what could this property rent for if they buy this property. And you can start building connect that relationship. And so it allows the agent to look even better, to look like they have a team of resources, to look like they've got things at their disposal. And you get to be that resource as a property manager. So did I sum that up somewhat? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Let's imagine this. Realtor is out there showing properties to investors.
Yeah.
And they look at this one property, 123 Main Street, and the investor says, how much can I get rent for? Instead of you waiting, going to your office and then reaching out to your favorite property manager, you can simply take out your phone. The realtor can take out their phone and go to your own property management app and request a rent analysis right there and there and forget about it. It depends on how fast you are. You'll get a notification or a push notification into your own app, and you'll be able to provide a rent analysis within seconds or minutes.
And this rent analysis is going to have the property owner's info on it, right? Like, right. You request that from the agent. So if the agent wants to request this info, they're submitting their client's info. Like, here's the client's name, here's their details, so that you get a lead as a property manager. And then you can communicate with the agent and with the owner.
Yeah. So much faster, and you always got to get your customer right when they're hot. And this is when they're hot. They're looking at this property. They want to know what is it going to rent for. And if you can provide them with a tool that is able to get them there, get them faster, there's more chances it's going to turn into your own lead. So
yeah, you can start building that relationship. And at that point, you're just being helpful. I mean, ultimately, you don't have to be salesy. You're just providing value. You're being helpful. Here's the rental analysis. Here's what you might want to do. And then if you'd like us to come out and check out this property and give you an idea of what changes need to be made, we'd be happy to do that in order to get it rent ready. Like, you can start to build this and start this relationship, without having to start selling. And the agent is saying, this is a trusted resource. I'm going to connect you with this company. They'll give you a rent analysis. They're going to do all of this. And they come with that authority already established.
Yeah, I think most property managers do offer this free tool on their website. But once the realtor is on field, they're not going to pull up their phone and try to go on your website and request a rent analysis there. It might be harder to do. If it's on their phone, there's more chances they're going to do it through your app rather than finding and looking for a website of another property management company and hoping that website is accessible through their phone. And knowing that it is a resource, because this app will not just have rent analysis and referrals, it will have latest trends, latest news and events that are happening in specifically your area, there's more chances that they're going to already know about your app because you've been pushing push notifications to them about latest events. So they will have you on top of mind, and they will know to go to you rather than to another property management company.
Yeah, I mean, right now with coronavirus, COVID-19, all the drama that's going on, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's going to be a lot of shifts when it comes, like evictions, moratoriums are happening. And like once these things start to lift, there's still going to be a lot of questions. People are looking for answers. And I think there's a massive opportunity here coming in the future. If the real estate market doesn't recover quickly from all of this complete pause that's happened, then there may be a real estate, industry may suffer and struggle. And then the property management industry usually by default tends to do well in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
People shift from buying to renting, and people transition to being accidental investors. They can't get places sold if the market tanks. And so the property management industry may have a season of significant growth coming here in the next several months, or next several years. So, and this would be a tool that would allow you to get that info out to like, here's the update. Here's what's going on. We even see the president of the United States has an opportunity right now to do daily briefings, and his ratings are higher than anything else going on right now, from what I understand. Like everybody wants to know like what's coming from the top. You're the expert in your market. You're the expert when it comes to rentals. And so the agents and other, maybe even landlords might start tuning into this if they're another audience you add into this app. Am I jumping the gun there?
No,
So,
that's perfect. The main point here is, in order to get people to give you referrals, you have to show them value. And if you're just going out there and giving everyone business cards and begging for referrals, you're not going to get them. You have to give them something back first. And with this app, you are giving them a resource that is specific to that specific market. And once you show them that you've given them resources and you've given them information that has been valuable, for example, latest news and trends and eviction laws specifically for your area, they will most likely go to you because they've heard from you, they've seen you, and this app will be opened up much more than an email would. And that seems to be the trend. And that is one of the biggest reasons why mobile apps are being developed by larger corporations, is to have that that easy access to people. Once a push notification goes out, the open rate is 95%. And people will open up that little ding on their iPhone or their Android phone, and they'll see that red 1 next to the app, and they will want to open it and make sure that they see what's going on. So the technology has been proven that the fact that the mobile apps do get opened up much better, and they do bring a top of mind much better than anything else out there.
and
So
let's compare it to other things, right? So email open rates are pretty low. So we use a software called Drip currently for our newsletter, for example, and we have actually what's considered a really high open rate on our emails. But even still, a really good open rate on email maybe is like 30% on a bulk email, maybe, right? If you get 20%, some people still consider that pretty decent. That means like the vast majority, like if you're looking at the 80-20 rule, the majority are not looking at the emails. And the way inboxes are now set up, they go into weird folders or categorizations or spam. And email deliverability is just not a great way to maintain communication or a relationship. And so text message, really high conversion rates, push notifications, really high, open rates, I mean. And yeah, so that's what you're talking about. Like there's a big difference if you can do push notifications versus that. Now, is there a challenge with getting people to opt into the push notifications, or is this just something they'll need to educate each realtor they're bringing into this, like make sure you say yes to the push notifications as you enable this app?
Yeah, so it's a good point. When the realtor does install this app, it goes through what we call onboarding, a few pages where we explain to them the point of push notifications first before we give them a pop-up and say, hey, allow push notifications. So they will know to enable it rather than just pushing it to them, and most people just say, no, I don't want push notifications. So we
Right.
do think that there is going to be more people enabling those notifications. In the future, I haven't thought about this, but in the future, I think what we could do is if there is a notification that comes in, we will display some kind of message saying, hey, be sure to enable your push notifications. But if they do open the app, they'll still see that notification. It just won't be a push notification. So it's still a much better open rate than that. So does that make any sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're going to constantly, solicit or get them to open permission to do the push notifications if they haven't done it yet, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
So
they'll see one of those annoying little red icons probably on the phone app with a number, like, oh man, I gotta look at this. What's going on in here?
Yeah. So I wanted to say that there's two types of notifications there. One is when it's transactional. So for example, there's a new rent analysis available. You have given them a new rent analysis, and then they get a push notification saying, hey, 123 Main Street has responded with a rent analysis. That's one type of a push notification. The second type is what we call a global notification, and that is what a property manager of this app is able to send out to everyone. It could be something like, hey, if you give us referral in this month, we'll give you double the price, or something like that. And it's more like a promotional push notification just to get on top of mind of people. So that is where you have the potential to send it to everyone who has their push notifications enabled. And it will also show up in their notifications screen on the app, even if they don't have the push notifications enabled. So they'll still see it next time they open the app. So people are able to use that as a promotional also. So there's those two types.
Perfect. So, okay. So where are you at with this app? Like, how far along is development? Do you have people using it? Beta testing? Like, where's it at? Those that are listening, what would be the next step if they're interested, which I'm expecting people to be pretty interested in this? Why don't you give people kind of a state of the union on this app?
Yeah, so currently the app is in development phase, and it's planned to be released mid-June 2020. Right now, all the features have been defined. They're ready. They're in the development phase. We have currently a few beta testers. So Rentworks, which is Brad Larson, is one of the beta testers. We have Mind Property Management as one of the testers. We have another property manager called Rent Pros. They manage about 1,000 doors. They're beta tester. And then we have one of the Real Property Management preferred beta testers. So currently we have 4 beta testers, and majority of them are in over 1,000 doors. And currently they're working on expanding in their referral program, and that's why they were excited about this. So those who are interested in becoming beta testers, we're only going to offer the beta to 10 beta testers. After that, the beta program will close until it's available for everyone else. The beta users will get 20% off, and then will not get that if you sign up after the beta is over. The benefit of being a beta user is that you obviously get the discount, and also you're the one who will determine which features will be developed in the next phase. So that's a real good benefit there. And it will be out mid-June, and then we'll probably test it for about a month or so, and then July or so, it's going to be available for everyone.
I don't think you'll have any trouble getting some beta testers with the people, all the people that listen to the show. You'll get 10.
All right.
So that's not going to be an issue.
Whoever gets it there first is going to get it. We're not going to allow more than 10 beta testers because we want to make sure.
Well, then make sure they're good ones. Find some really tech savvy guys because they'll give you some good feature requests.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah. So we're
gals.
excited about it.
That wasn't like it, guys or gals, right? So yeah. So, all right. So awesome. So Vitaliy, this sounds really great. I know I've got several clients that I think would be interested in this. Hopefully they're listening to this. I was just talking to, on my last, on some of my calls that I do with my clients, some of the gals and guys there were keenly interested in something like this. So we're going to throw this out. By the time this makes it to the podcast, they'll already be filled, I'm sure. But how do they get in touch with you to get on the beta program? And for those that aren't going to make it into that, how can people find out more about this and where you're at with this and maybe even sign up? How do people communicate with you?
Yeah, so the best thing to do is go to our website, renterinc.com. And then there's a tab on top that says other products. Mm-hmm. And once you go to that, there's a Realtor Referral app. It'll take you to a specific page where it doesn't talk a lot about the app, but allows you to schedule a call with us. That will tell us that you're interested in specifically the Realtor Referral app. We'll get on the call to see if you're a good candidate for a beta tester. If you are, you'll join. We'll get your logo and your company information, and you'll have your own app mid-June. If not, if you don't make it to the beta test, we will still be able to get you on the call, get you set up, and then once the beta program is over, we'll get you set up with your own app, hopefully somewhere middle of July. Okay, so you can either go to renterinc.com or you could just email info@renterinc.com, and then just tell us you're interested in the Realtor Referral program. I'd encourage everyone else to also take a look at our other software that we have. We also have a integration with AppFolio that allows you to request rental verifications and get them back in 24 hours or so. And we do that through Chrome extension that we've just built. So take a look at that. We're excited about the referral app, but our other tools are pretty good too. So.
All right, you're a humble promoter of your products and services, so I appreciate that. So, Vitaliy, thanks for coming on the show, and keep us updated on how this goes.
All right, thank you so much.
All right,
talk to you later.
So awesome. We've had lots of conversations about this. He's been picking my brain. So. And anyway, check that out. And then if you are a property management business owner and you are struggling, you're having difficulty, you want to feel like you have somebody in your corner, we've got some great coaching programs available. We also are launching websites. Every week we're launching new websites for clients. So check us out at DoorGrow. I believe we build the best websites in the property management industry, hands down. And if you are feeling even a little bit confident or insecure about your website, go to doorgrow.com/quiz and test it. Grade your website and see where it's at. And if you get an A, then I guess you don't need to have a conversation with me or my team. But if you don't, if you get a B, or what's common a C, or even more common a D, or you fail outright on this quiz, then you owe it to yourself and your business to make sure you're not missing out on website leads and deals every single month. One deal is probably worth $6,000 lifetime value. That's maybe $2,000 a year on the door. Maybe you're making $2,000 a year, and you can keep them on for maybe 3 years, maybe $6,000 lifetime value. And if you're missing out on just 2 or 3 of those every month, that could be $18,000 in future ROI that you're missing out on every single month, right? So that can be a very expensive thing if you multiply that by 12 months over the course of a year. So, and websites are not that expensive. They're just not. You like one door would cover it, right? And so reach out to us. Anyway, I'm Jason Hull with the DoorGrow Show. Thanks for hanging out with me. Until next time, to our mutual growth. Bye, everyone.